Let's give another second or 3 or 5 for the officials to get into position. Speaking of officials, our Have a Nice Day officials for Game 6 are Morticia, Geo Knitter, Aaron Burr, Sadie Masochist, Sin Nombre, Ope, Terabyte, Riot Earp, Stompador, Donnie Demonic, Class Warfarin, Miller Light, Andy Oakley, Extra Crispy, Nomad, and Eddie Lizard, without whom we would not have a game. Thank you very much to all of our officials. That whistle means we are back or getting into the action. First jammer on the line for Red Stick is number 725. Sparkles Fantastic. Sparky will be taking on Frida for Arizona, and Frida takes the first lead jammer of the game. Sparkles Fantastic pushing hard on those Arizona blockers. Sparkles Fantastic, 1 to beat. No pass, no penalty. Sparkles Fantastic through on the initial. Meanwhile, Frida pops through the pack for 4 points and calls it off. No points for Sparky. 4 points up for Arizona. Rolling up to the jam line, we've got West Coast Mafia versus Brawladine. Brawladine picks up lead jammer for Red Stick. But West Coast Mafia is the jammer in the lead. West Coast Mafia busts clean of that pack and coming around turn 4. And the call off holds both teams scoreless. Go ahead.
Number 343 Twinkle Toes is out for jamming and for Red Stick, and number 84 Jaws Breaker. Jaws Breaker gets lead and is out in front of the pack as Twinkle Toes is recycled back on the outside.
Jaws Breaker in the pack looking for points. Twinkle Toes still looking for that initial pass. Ooh. Bit of a pile up there in turn 2. Jaws Breaker recycling to the back of the pack. Goldilocks taking a seat in the penalty box. Did you see the hand signal on that one?
I did not. Oh, Twinkle Toes is out. Oh, and to the box with the cut.
Sparky to the box.
This is a power jam.
In the mic.
Power jam.
Power jam for Arizona. Jaws Breaker recycling once more to the back of the pack. Gonna recycle back behind Little Miss Maggot.
And once again recycled.
Unabashedly and totally unashamedly, Little Miss Maggot is totally one of my derby crushes. A total badass and a great person. Little Miss Maggot on the block once more against Jaws Breaker, holding her back all the way. Shoreman playing some defense there or offense for Jaws Breaker.
And Twinkle Toes is out on their initial pass.
Little projection. Two points go up for Twinkle Toes, 4 points up for Jaws Breaker. On the line for Arizona, we've got Hella Naughty taking on Sparkles Fantastic.
And Sparkle's Fantastic out for the lead for Red Stick. Arizona blocker headed to the box on a direction.
HaND caught up behind a brace through wall of Red Stick blockers. 4 points going up for Sparkle's Fantastic.
And another blocker sits for Arizona in the box, I believe for a forearm.
Forearm call on that one.
4 more points for Sparkle's Fantastic. And this is a power jam for Red Stick Roller Derby as
HaND taking a seat in the penalty box. Ooh. Sparkles picking up 4 more points for Red Stick. Four more points for Sparkles Fantastic, making a 16-point jam for Red Stick Roller Derby. The call off from Sparkles Fantastic is that 3 more points on the board? 3 more points on the board.
And they lock the Arizona blocker HaND in the box for under 10 seconds.
And taking this power start for Red Stick, we've got Brawladine. Brawladine bounces to the inside. Brawladine headed to the penalty box.
With a cut, I believe.
With a track cut call. HaND back on the track. HaND getting some offensive help there by Goldilocks. Takes lead jammer in turn 2. HaND looking to do some action with that power jam. HaND on the toe stops, goes out to the outside, going to recycle. And that's 4 whistles. 2 points up for HaND. Kazi taking the line for Red Stick, going up against Princess Leia for Arizona. And it's by a whisker. We've got Red Stick's Kazi taking lead jammer.
This is a power jam for Red Stick Roller Derby as
Kazi fighting in the back of the pack in this power jam. Princess Leia had to have a seat in the penalty box. 2 points go up for Red Stick. Taking the line in this power start, we've got Sparkles Fantastic for Red Stick. Project a little bit, and that way you can hear you. Don't be afraid, it's not going to bite. Sparkles Fantastic taking a shirt whip off of one of her teammates. Gets blocked by Skatey Katie. Skatey Katie having to take a seat in the penalty box.
And Sparkles Fantastic is lead.
Very good, yes.
Princess Leia back in with the star off.
Little Miss Maggot, last one to beat for Princess Leia. Little Miss Maggot taking a seat in the penalty box. Princess Leia clear on the initial.
Yes. Now scoring points.
Sparkles Fantastic. Ooh. Having to cycle to the back of the pack. 4 points go up for Princess Leia and Arizona Roller Derby.
Red Stick's roller derby blocker taking a seat in the box as
Foxy
Princess
Clea
Leia.
Smacchia is taking a seat.
Princess Leia is out for 4 more points.
Woo.
And Sparkles Fantastic calls it.
Okay. Arizona roller derby making up quite a bit of ground in that jam. Frida taking the line for this next jam, taking on Brawla Dean. Frida versus Brawla Dean on the jam line. Let's see how it works. It's 9 versus 10. We've got a timeout called. Escape by door. And timeout up. Back to the action. Brawla Dean versus Frida on the line. And here we go. Frida to the outside. Brawla Dean gets lead jammer.
Jammers are neck and neck as
What will occur? Brawla Dean getting instructions from the sideline. Gonna run it. Brawla Dean through the pack for 4 points. Frida going out to the outside, gonna cycle back behind.
and Brawla Dean up for another 4 points.
That's some tough red stick blocking. They have got Frida stuck in the back of the pack. Brawla Dean with the twirl move for 4 more points. We do have a completed star pass for Arizona. Miss Murder, now jammer of record. Brawla Dean through the pack for 4 more points.
Both jammers fighting. Miss Murder fighting at the back of the pack as Brawla Dean pushes at the front. Miss Murder called on a forearm and headed to the box. A power jam for Red Stick.
Brawla Dean goes out in the inside, but
someone got a direction.
That's right.
An Arizona blocker gets a direction, heads to the box.
And Brawla at the end of the jam with 4 more points. That is our highest scoring jam of the game thus far. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 points scored by Brawla Dean. Sparkles fantastic on the jam line for a Red Stick. Miss Murder frozen in the box for the power start. Sparkles fantastic seating ground coming in behind Colette Razorcat.
And Sparkles Fantastic is out for lead.
Sparkles Fantastic is not lead. That was a no pass, no penalty.
Oh, did not see that.
You got to pass everybody legally in your initial pass in order to get lead jammer.
But Sparkles Fantastic, right, is up for 4.
Up for 4. You don't have to be lead jammer to score points, and Sparkles is doing it. Miss Murder back in the fray.
Pushing hard at the back of the pack. as the box is now empty and offense comes in. 4 more points for Sparkles Fantastic.
Miss Murder fighting hard, still at the back of the pack. I see Foxy Cleospaka in that pack, as well as Miss Maggot.
And 4 more points for Sparkles Fantastic. Yeah.
Miss Murder finding the way through the pack. Miss Murder coming through the pack on the initial. 4 points go up for Sparkles Fantastic. This will be a 2-minute jam as Miss Murder has not been declared lead jammer.
Sparkles Fantastic recycle to the back. And Miss Murder out for 4 points.
Four more points up, or 3 points up for Sparkles Fantastic. And that's the jam. Wait for the scoreboard update, and that follows my counting as well. Red Stick 66, Arizona 25, 15 minutes left in the half. West Coast Mafia on the line for Arizona. Be taking on number 343, Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes gets lead as
West Coast has to cycle back to the back of the pack.
Yes. West Coast Mafia and another Arizona jammer, or not jammer, blocker, are sent to the box.
So Twinkle Toes has a power jam as West Coast will sit for 30 seconds to think about what she did. Track cut called on Twinkle Toes leaves us with a 2-minute jam, and West Coast Mafia rejoining the fray. Remember, Twinkle Toes will only sit as long as West Coast sat.
Indeed.
So this will be a quick jammer do-si-do.
And Twinkle Toes is back in, but with the star off.
West Coast fighting hard against Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu getting low and making it happen. West Coast Mafia to the inside line. West Coast clear on the initial. Twinkle Toes recycling to the back of the pack behind Skatey Katie. West Coast Mafia putting up 4 points for Arizona. Forearm being assessed.
And now there's only one blocker for Arizona on the track right now, as Twinkle Toes gets out and scores 4 points. West Coast Mafia close behind, also with 4 points.
It's a busy penalty box. As we're doing blocker do-si-dos, people getting signaled in, signaled out. Remember, they can only sit 2 blockers at a time. And that's 4 whistles, 3 points, 3 more points up for Twinkle Toes. West Coast Mafia with a total of 8 points for West Coast Mafia, 33-74 in favor of Red Stick. Timeout has been called. Now's a good time to take a look at the penalties. We do have on Arizona someone with 5 penalties already. We do have a couple players with 4. A little cleaner on Red Stick side, no one in any immediate danger. Sometimes if you look at the penalties, it will tell the story of the game.
Indeed they will.
And sometimes it's just a mess.
Very true.
Both teams looking pretty even on jammer penalties at this time. Back to the action with Jaws Breaker taking the line against Brawladine.
Pack advantage to Red Stick with 1 Arizona blocker in the box.
Oh, official timeout for track maintenance. Thank you to our track maintenance crew. Woo! Hip, hip, hooray for you. Keeping it safe and straight. That's awesome. All right, we got 5 seconds to think about what's going to come next. Penalties raining down as Arizona's takes lead jammer.
Brawladine close behind. And the
big old pile up there in turn 1 as everyone came through. 2 points look like they're going up to Red Stick. 2 points go up for Arizona. We call that a wash in the business. What business? I have no idea.
The announcing business.
Kamikaze jamming for Red Stick versus Hella Naughty. Kamikaze getting blocked by Miss Murder. Red Stick taking lead jammer on the skates of Kamikaze. Hella Naughty out of the pack and ready to score some points. No points for Arizona on that pass. And looking for Red Stick's points.
Zero, zero. Double donuts.
Double donuts. You know, it may be afternoon, but donuts still sounds pretty good.
Oh, always. Donuts always sound good.
Princess Leia jamming for Arizona versus Sparkles Fantastic for a Red Stick. Princess Leia with the fight of the life against Miss Maggot. As well as Foxy Clea Smackya. Not a place that I would want to be as a jammer.
Oh, absolutely not. It looks painful.
That looks like work. Hard work. Speaking of hard work, Sparkles Fantastic not far behind in terms of work. Sparkles pushing hard at the front with that brace tripod of Arizona blockers. Original Sin rejoining the fray. Hopefully going to do some offense there for Sparkles Fantastic. Definitely trying. Oh my goodness, it's the tail of the blockers once more.
Yeah.
Not giving an inch. I'm told this floor is sticky but weirdly slippery in places.
Yeah.
Those blockers just sitting on those jammers into turn 2. Over a minute, still no lead jammer. Miss Maggot doing some awesome O work there. But Sparkles Fantastic going to have to recycle. Sparkles Fantastic goes to the back of, goes out to the outside, gonna cycle back behind Goldie Knox, who pulls back the full 10 feet.
Oh.
And lead jammer goes to Princess Leia with 10 seconds left in the jam.
And Sparkles Fantastic still fighting, recycled on the out.
Wall work done there by Little Miss Maggot. Takes Princess Leia to the inside, says, no thank you, I'm done.
Understandable.
Calls it from the floor, just shy of 5 seconds left in the jam.
Jams like that are never a good experience.
No fun, no fun. If you're a jammer, that's no fun.
Oh yeah, you feel the burn.
So that was a 0-0 jam. We're still sitting at 79-35 in favor of Red Stick, with Brawladine on the line up against Frida. That was 4 whistles. We are got a timeout being called, official timeout. They're making sure everything's going good at the score table.
Very important.
Now's a good time for our track maintenance crew to do what they do, which is working out great for them.
Oh, yes.
Good time for everybody to hydrate a little bit. If you haven't been hydrating, you've been drying out, you should take a drink. Your beverage of choice, I'm drinking water.
I am not being a good example. Drinking nothing.
I tell you what, though, it's been a lovely weekend for some derby. It's been great weather.
Yeah.
You can never tell by skaters because they're going to sweat. It happens. But it's very mild outside. There's no air conditioning in the Hopkins auditorium or the Hopkins Pavilion here. And in terms of not being air conditioned, I'm not sweating very much. It's not bad.
It feels fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's mild Minnesota springtime weather. Little overcast outside. We had to shut the doors up because there were the little puffy seed pods from dandelions floating through here, and that's kind of a hazard.
Just a bit.
Just a smidge. Oh, but that's all there is to it. Big thank you to photographers, volunteers, track maintenance crew, everyone who came out to help out, all of our officials, both on skates and off skates. We could not do it without you. Thank you so much. That rolling whistle brings us back to the action. Once again, that's Frida on the line versus Brawladine.
And the box is clear.
That's not something we've gotten to say very much this game. The box is clear.
Yeah. It's always good to see.
Brawladine takes lead jammer for Red Stick. Frida
fighting.
Oh my
Fighting
goodness.
very hard.
Frida with the fight of the century. Brawladine kind of juking her way through the pack.
A penalty, unsure of what is called on Frida.
But Frida's headed to the penalty box.
Oh, both jammers headed, yep.
It's going to be a jammer do-si-do. Yep. Let's see how quick this is going to be. There's one. And there's two. Release one. Release two. There we go.
Back in.
And just like that, we've got a 2-minute jam on our hands, folks. Frida into the back of the pack with a vengeance. Ooh. Brawladine recycling, having gone out on the inside line. Machu Picchu pulling Frida back another 10 feet. Brawladine tiptoeing on the outside line.
Recycled back.
Frida headed back to the penalty box for a full 30 seconds this time. Brawladine once more on the outside, but her blocker did go out as well, so she can continue on. Original Sin taking a seat in the penalty box.
Frida is back in.
Brawladine to the outside, being pulled back behind Mimi Mahler.
And tiptoeing up the inside line, Frida completes the initial pass.
And that's 2 minutes. That jam came to its natural conclusion. Our total score went 86 Red Stick and Arizona 35. Who have we got on the jam line?
We have Twinkle Toes and West Coast Mafia for Arizona. Twinkle Toes recycled on the out. A forearm called, and West Coast Mafia is lead.
West Coast Mafia is lead. One Arizona blocker taking a seat in the penalty box. West Coast going out to the inside line, courtesy of Original Sin.
Twinkle Toes pushing up front as West Coast Mafia battles a tripod in the back.
Little Miss Maggot breaks off of the tripod to do some offensive work there for Twinkle Toes. And that offensive work does great as
West Coast
Twinkle
Mafia
Toes
calls
comes through on the initial and West Coast calls it off.
Oh, yeah.
That was 4 points up for West Coast Mafia. Nothing netted for Red Stick.
Jaws Breaker and Sparkles Fantastic on the line. And the box is not clear. There is one Arizona jammer, or not jammer, blocker. I'm alive and awake.
Sparkles Fantastic getting put out on the outside line by I'ma Blow By Ya. And Arizona takes lead, jammer.
Sparkles Fantastic also out of the pack on their first scoring pass. And the jam is called off.
Once again, hello to our Twitch feed. If you're just now joining us, this is Arizona Roller Derby versus Red Stick Roller Derby. We are sitting at 4 minutes 25 seconds in the first half. Arizona at 43, Red Stick at 86. Rolling up to the jam line, we've got Hella Naughty.
An official review has been called from Red Stick Roller Derby.
Official review, so we will wait to see what the officials have viewed.
Yes.
As I made clear in the last game, the collective term for a group of zebras is a dazzle.
We have a dazzle right at the center of the track.
And our zebras are dazzling.
Oh, indeed.
Indeed. Waiting for the official word on the official review. But this official review was called by Red Stick. Their dot is flashing. Thank you, Ref McWinkle, for that. So Red Stick was requesting a forearm call on the white pivot, and the no call will stand. Red Stick will lose their official review for the first half. We've got Hella Naughty up against number 228 Comet Kazi for Red Stick. Gotta watch those forearms. You can't be can't be a forearm person.
Forearms, I feel, are always the worst kind of penalties to get.
Because they're so preventable.
Yeah. Ooh. Dancing up that line, Hella Naughty gets lead for Arizona.
Hella Naughty getting a shirt whip off Goldie Knox. Pick it up. 4 points for Arizona.
Star pass completed for
Red Stick. Jammer of record now. Papaya on fire, but does not get a chance to score any points for Red Stick, as the call off was made after 4 points for Hella Naughty for a total of 8 points, bringing Arizona to 51. Wearing the star for Red Stick, once again, we've got Brawla Dean, and wearing the star for Arizona, Princess Leia. Princess Leia up the inside line, untouched, takes lead jammer. That is 4 in a row for Arizona.
Brawla Dean recycled on the inside as an Arizona blocker goes to sit in the box. Finally got it right.
That is Miss Murder taking a seat. Did not see the hand sign on that. Big block there by Carmina Piranha.
And Brawla Dean is out. Puts the star back on as
looking for points.
The jam is called off.
4 points go up for Arizona on that pass. No points for Brawla Dean. At the line for Red Stick, we've got Sparkles Fantastic taking on Frida for Arizona. Someone's headed to the penalty box for a forearm call. But Frida takes lead jammer. That's 5 in a row for Arizona.
Wow. Incredible stuff.
We are watching the tides, and they may be a-turning. Sparkles through the pack.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Box is full for Arizona, not including their jammer.
4 points go up for Sparkles Fantastic. Sparkles just kind of snuck right through there unnoticed, untouched. Ooh. And there goes Sparkles again for 4 points.
Frida fighting that Red Stick tripod so incredibly hard. Jam is called off, and
Goldilocks is headed to the penalty box for a forearm call. Frida put up 4 points before the call off. Brings our total to Arizona 59, Red Stick 94.
West Coast Mafia and Twinkle Toes lining up on the line as jammers. Ooh.
And Twinkle Toes takes it.
Quickly.
The Red Stick blockers opening up a can of ugly on West Coast Mafia. Big blocking happening back there. West Coast struggling hard to get through. Twinkle Toes putting up 4 points.
Ooh.
Apex jump attempt by Twinkle Toes was not successful. Someone's headed to the penalty box, and that is
Pivot for Red Stick, 5-1-1.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
And West Coast Mafia clear on the initial. And that is intermission. We will see you back in 10 minutes. Right now we're looking at Red Stick Roller Derby 102 to Arizona Roller Derbies 59. Once again, 10 minutes and we'll be back. If you are the owner of a black and purple gear bag with a white helmet, please go claim it. It's getting rained on. Go to the front and claim it, please. Frida versus Sparkles Fantastic. In this first jam of the second half, Frida comes out as lead with Sparkles Fantastic hot on her wheels. Why am I yelling? Sparkles Fantastic around on the outside. 4 points up for Sparky. Skatey Katie blocking Sparkles Fantastic. Shoreman as well. 3 points go up for Red Stick. 2 points for Arizona.
Brawladine and West Coast Mafia out on the line. Box is empty. Oh.
And Brawla comes out on top as lead jammer. Forearm call being assessed on West Coast Mafia, leaving Brawladine with the power jam. Just taking a quick look at the penalty board as the action plays out. We've got 2 players on Arizona's side in with 6 penalties, 1 with 5. So we've got 2 players at risk of fouling out. Brawladine putting up 4 more points on that pass. Little Miss Maggot with the offense.
Brawladine out for another 4 points as West Coast Mafia comes in from the penalty box. A blocker, who I can't see the name of, sits for Arizona.
Brawladine getting put out by Lightning. West Coast Mafia through on the initial. Call off by Brawladine. 3 more points, says the ref.
Twinkle Toes and Jaws break her as jammers on the line. 1 in the box for Arizona on this start, so pack advantage to Red Sticks.
Twinkle Toes on the inside line manages to stay inside by the grace of those Twinkle Toes.
Oh, yeah.
Twinkle Toes ceding ground, coming in, recycling behind the pack.
Ooh.
Jaws breaker taking lead jammer.
A blocker for Red Stick headed to the box as Twinkle Toes finishes their initial pass. And Jaws Breaker calls off the jam with 4 points and for Arizona and 1 for Red Stick.
I see stars. I see stars. One of them is Hella Naughty. The other one is Sparkles Fantastic. Hella Naughty goes out to the inside, cycling back behind Little Miss Maggot. Sparky pushing hard at the front of the pack against a brace 3-pod. Little offense being played there for Hella Naughty by Colette Razorcat. Nice little whip there by taken by Hella Naughty, Net's lead jammer. Hella Naughty bouncing off the inside line, stays in bounds. Not that
but is
time.
not to the end of the apex. Not recycled. Hello, hello, hello. Are you on? Oh, there we go.
Sparky through on the initial. Hella Naughty still pushing hard. Goldie Knox hanging back, seeing what to block.
Hella Naughty calls it off.
4 points go up for Hella Naughty.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Big Thunder here in Minneapolis, Hopkins, Minnesota, as Brawladine takes the line up against Princess Leia.
Box is empty. Always good.
Brawladine to the outside, Brawladine to the inside, Brawladine to the outside. Princess Leia goes out of bounds to the inside, but doesn't have to cycle very far. Machu Picchu headed to the penalty box. And Brawladine takes lead jammer.
Princess Leia makes it out of the pack. The pack is speeding up. Brawladine approaching.
As you do.
Ooh, big hit.
Brace too well in the front. I see Papaya on fire. I also see, that's Carmina Piranha blocking on Princess Leia. Brawladine through on the inside line. 4 points up for Brawladine.
Oh,
Princess
hit to the
Leia
out is Princess Leia.
Princess Leia almost clear, did not quite make it, got put out by Papaya on fire. Brawladine calling it. 3 more points for Brawladine. 4 points up for Arizona.
Kamikaze and Frida out on the line. Box is once again empty as 5 seconds is about to be called. Ooh.
Frida takes lead jammer for Arizona.
Kamikaze out. As 4 points is put up for Frida and Arizona, and the jam is called.
West Coast Mafia taking the line for Arizona. We got Sparkles Fantastic for Red Stick.
Even packs as 2 blockers sit in the box.
Shoreman pivoting like a mad person up at the front of the pack. That is some one to beat heck good blocking there by Shoreman. But Sparkles Fantastic is lead.
West Coast Mafia out. As Sparkle Fantastics hit that pack and calls it off.
4 more points up for Red Stick. West Coast Mafia held scoreless.
Brawladine and Jawsbreaker out on the line. The box is once again empty.
Track cut being called on Brawladine. No.
Jawsbreaker gets lead as Brawladine fights through those blockers.
Brawladine clear on the initial. Jawsbreaker with the call off after 4 points for Arizona. Thank you to our fans on Twitch. We do appreciate you watching us.
Team timeout for Red Stick. Helenati on the line with Twinkle Toes. There is one in the box for Red Stick. Pack advantage to Arizona Roller Derby.
I love your eyeshadow. Twinkle Toes blocking Helenati in the pack
Always
there.
love to see it.
Love to see it. Little shirt whip there for Twinkle Toes. Twinkle Toes down, up, down. And Twinkle Toes through the pack for lead jammer.
Star pass to
Shoreman. Shoreman, one of my favorite players to watch. Always entertaining.
Adore the name.
Adore it.
Twinkle Toes working up that line for 4 points as an Arizona blocker goes to sit in the box.
That is Helenati taking a seat in the penalty box for a forearm call. Shoreman still working on that pack there. Shoreman through the pack for 4 points.
And Twinkle Toes calls it with 3 points.
Princess Leia wearing the star for Arizona, taking on Sparkles Fantastic. I just feel like I need reverb when I say it like that. And Sparkles Fantastic is declared lead jammer.
Princess Leia close behind, I do believe. Indeed, okay. The box is empty. Both jammers re-enter the pack.
Sparkles Fantastic getting a little bit of offensive help at the head of the pack there by Basher Bose. The Princess Leia through the pack for 4 points.
Sparkles Fantastic up on the outside for 4 points.
Okay, that's not even fair blocking. They've got Bose and Maggot out there at the same time.
Oh.
Sparkles Fantastic cycling back to the rear of the pack. Nice offensive work there for Arizona's Mimi Mahler.
Both jammers forced to recycle. High block, I believe, called on a Arizona blocker.
While Sparkles Fantastic comes through with 4 big points. And that's the jam. 4 more points go up for Arizona, bringing our total to 93 Arizona, 147 for Red Stick. Once again on the line, we've got the pairing of Frida versus Brawladine. Brella on the outside. Brella taking a penalty while Frida takes lead jammer. That was a track cut on Brawladine.
Dancing through that apex. Frida is up for 4 points as the box is now clear for Arizona.
Colette Razorcat rejoining the pack. There's a back block call being assessed on Frida, which will release Brawladine from the box as soon as Frida has a seat. Remember that Frida will only sit as long as Brawladine sat.
But with Brawladine standing, that will be quite a while.
It was almost 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was close.
Ooh!
Brawladine with a little apex jump there and a little apex spin move too.
Yes.
Got through on the initial.
I love to see those apex jumps. They're so fun. Ooh, and a twirl from Brawladine. 4 points up for Red Stick. Frida is out of the penalty box and being drawn back. Ooh, ooh, big fall.
Brawladine and Frida both through the pack. 4 points both ways. This is going to be a tale of the blockers. Since there's no lead jammer, we're gonna see the blockers really doing some work here. Brawladine through for 4 more points. Track cut being assessed on Machu Picchu. Goldilocks with the love knock on Brawladine. And 2 minutes sees 4 more points go up for Arizona and 1 more for Brawladine and Red Stick, bringing our total to 105 for Arizona, 161 for Red Stick. West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona, taking on Twinkle Toes. This is the second time this half we've seen this pairing. Everybody to the outside. Oh. Quick. And West Coast Mafia takes lead jammer. No,
but
West Coast Mafia is
back.
Recycling to the back of the pack. Still been declared lead jammer. West Coast Mafia is lead jammer.
Arizona blocker is going to sit in the penalty box.
That's Mimi Mahler headed to the penalty box as Machu Picchu rejoins the pack. We now have 3 Arizona players in at 6 penalties. Twinkle Toes still working on the initial. Twinkle Toes clear on the initial with the help of a Star Stash. She almost lost it there for a second. Yeah. And the call off. No points.
Is it double donuts?
I believe it is double donuts, but I'm waiting for the call from the white jam ref. It is indeed double donuts. Sparkles Fantastic on the lineup against Jaws Breaker. Jaws Breaker taking a shirt whip off of Sureman as Sparkles Fantastic takes lead jammer.
spin move from Jaws Breaker to get out of the pack.
Your mic's off. Oh, weird. Couldn't hear you. That's strange.
Yeah.
4 points go up for Sparkles. Fantastic. Brawladine taking the start against Hella Naughty. Penalty whistles raining down. Someone's taking a track cut. That is Brawladine taking a seat in the penalty box.
But
She got there first. Helenati picked up another
incredibly quick
penalty as
do-si-do.
well. It's going to be a very fast jammer do-si-do. Off goes Brawla. And
In
here
comes
comes
Naughty.
Naughty. And here we go again for a 2-minute jam. Uh-oh. Brawladine clear on the initial.
Forearm called on number 30 for Red Stick.
That's
as
Stabby Cat.
Helenati is also out on the initial.
Helenati looking for points with business writ large on the face.
Ooh, but dancing up the line. 4 points for Brawladine. And 4 points are put up for Helenati. Attempted Jersey Whip
Multiplayer
Results
block being called.
in a multiplayer. Yeah.
Brawladine, who will head back to the penalty box to sit for 30 seconds. Leaves Helenati with the power jam. 4 points up for Helenati. Helenati around once more for 4 points. This is the highest scoring jam for Arizona this game. Woo! Helenati, 4 more points. That's 16 points up for Helenati as 2 minutes are up, so 4 whistles rain down. Score now stands 121-169 in favor of Red Stick. Team timeout brought to you by, who was that? Was that Red Stick
Red
that
Stick.
called that?
I do believe
That
it
was Red Stick that called that. So during this timeout, let's take a look at the penalty board. We have 3 Arizona players at risk of fouling out. We do have 1 foul out for Arizona. 2 Red Stick players with 5 each penalties. We do have 1 Arizona player with 5. So this has been a penalty-heavy game, but not jammer penalties, blocker penalties.
Official timeout is called. Is it for track?
Everybody take this official timeout to take a sip of your beverage. Hydrate, don't dehydrate. I know we're having a rainstorm outside, but it's still important to drink water. That That rolling whistle brings us back to the track and back to the action as Comet Kazi takes the line up against Princess Leia. Oh my goodness, Princess Leia fighting real hard against that tripod of Arizona or red stick blockers. Comet Kazi up against a 3-pack of Arizona blockers up front, not doing much better herself, but they're both pushing hard into turn 1.
Comet Kazi recycled on the outside.
Sure man on the drawback. Carmina Piranha headed to the penalty box for a directional.
A star pass to, is that Sherman?
That is Skatey Katie.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, that's Sherman. I'm wrong.
Oh, yay.
I'm wrong. Skatey Katie got me mixed up. But Red Stick got the jammer and got some points. 3 points for Red Stick on that jam. No points Arizona. Sparkle's fantastic, rolling up to the line for Red Stick, taking on Farida. Ooh. Everyone to the outside line, quick! Frida, right around the turn 1 and lead jammer. Big pile up in turn 2. Sparkle's fantastic, still fighting hard against Mimi Mahler. Mimi Mahler puts Sparkle's fantastic out and recycles her back to the back of the pack. 4 points go up for Frida. Forearm call being assessed on Mimi Mahler.
And
star pass to Little Miss Maggot.
Oh, Little Miss Maggot ends that with an apex jump, but for no points.
This is the first time Red Stick's been held scoreless in 5 jams. Once more on the line, we see West Coast Mafia versus Twinkle Toes. Forearm call being assessed on Red Stick's blocker, while Twinkle Toes takes lead jammer. West Coast Mafia on the afterburners, hot on her wheels.
Pack is moving fast up into the apex as Twinkle Toes apex jumps and calls it off for 4 points.
2 points up for West Coast Mafia. Brings us to Arizona 130. 176 in favor of Red Stick with a little less than 4 minutes left in the half. Brawla Dean taking on Jaws Breaker at the jam line. Jaws Breaker at the head of the pack. Someone's getting a
high
block.
Is it?
And that's Jaws Breaker taking a seat in the penalty box.
Power jam and a star pass
to Little Miss Maggot.
And I believe that does make this a 2-minute jam as well.
That does, in fact. Little Miss Maggot fighting hard at the head of the pack. Goldie Knox with the love tap. Mimi Mahler in turn 3. Someone's headed to the penalty box. That is Mimi Mahler taking a seat in the box. 4 points went up for Little Miss Maggot.
Just dances up that inside line on the apex for 4 more points. As West Coast Mafia, right? Jaws Breaker.
Jaws Breaker.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I can't see very well today, apparently.
Jaws Breaker through on the initial. Directional call being assessed on shove. Jaws Breaker coming around looking for points. getting taken out on the inside by Foxy Clea Smakia. Jawsbreaker once more, Foxy Clea Smakia, and is that Stabby Cat on the block? That's right, that's Stabby Cat. Little Miss Maggot getting past Goldie Knox for 4 more points. Four points go up for Jawsbreaker.
Both jammers pushing their way through the pack.
The pack has reformed and the pack is snug. I see 4 more points, bringing that to a 20-point jam for Little Miss Maggot.
Ooh.
6 points for Jawsbreaker total. 136 to 196. Little Miss Maggot has the highest scoring jam of the game. Sparkles Fantastic versus Hella Naughty on the line in what could be the last jam of the game. And Hella Naughty takes lead jammer.
Sparkles Fantastic also out on the initial, following about a quarter track behind.
Sparkles Fantastic finds the inside line to her liking and takes 4 points. Hella Naughty pushing against Original Sin. And is that Machu Picchu? Yes, it is. 4 points go up for Hella Naughty.
Ooh.
4 more points there for Sparkles Fantastic. Machu Picchu drawing Hella Naughty back.
And the jam is called.
And the jam is called. 2 points, 2 more points for Hella Naughty. Brings the total to 146 to 208 for Red Stick. That is our unofficial final score. We are waiting for the rolling whistle to make that score official, and that score is it. Thank you for tuning in and being here. Have a nice day, and we will see you back again at 4 p.m.